Hey guys, what's up? It's Jules here for WhatCulture Gaming, joined as ever by the EGX who always gives me sex. It is Scott Tailford.
Good, thanks. Hi.
Hello Scott, how are you today?
It's 11 a.m. I'm good. I've not put out today.
We're about to put out some content because
true.
we are going to be delivering some news on the fact that Gamescom might be making a big play for E3's role. But you know what that means? If it's news and it's me and you together, it's time to hit that jingle.
Hot dang, there's news, give it all you got. I guess it's time for Jules and Scott.
Oh, we are back
Lord.
in the room, and yes, we are talking about Gamescom. It is just around the corner this year. It's being held in Germany, and it is a huge, huge gaming event. But it's possibly about to get even bigger because recently there have been a fair few gaming conventions that, let's just say, they've dropped the ball a little bit. I mean, we all know about the E3 debacle that just went on recently, which we will discuss in a second, but there was some other stuff as well, such as that poorly timed Joker, Evo, that was going on with them suggesting that Metal Gear Solid Snakes...
That my friend David Hayter was going to be voicing Solid Snake.
And that was just...
the thing, it wasn't even true.
It was just a bad joke that went horribly. That's bad PR, but not as bad PR as potentially releasing how many?
This is the whole sort of discussion around the idea that E3 has sort of been failing for the last few years, and obviously there was a massive leak a couple of weeks ago by the ESA, which is the parent company for E3, put the details out for 2,000 journalists, home addresses and everything else.
That's the
which is bad.
Because at first, when I first read it, I was like, oh well, surely that's just their details for their work, but it's their literal home addresses as well, doxing and the entire thing.
It's not good. I mean, but this kind of comes in the wake of just E3 itself, and kind of just downscaling. Sony pulled out of this year's one, which is a massive blow to the show itself. They've started making the show more public over the past few years to try and recoup some funds and try and change what E3 is. And I still think that E3 is a very important thing for the year. But it's interesting to note that this is just more of like a discussion piece, but Jeff Keighley's been out there tweeting that they're for the first time doing this new Gamescom live stream called Opening Night Live, which is essentially turning Gamescom into more of an E3. Now, Gamescom has always had live streams, but they've never had it like this, where they have like new content and new studios and new games.
When I've been there before, it's basically been that very clear distinction between it being a trade show for people to go there and sort of get their like technical, literal hardware needs, and also publishers looking for stuff like that, but also a place to play the brand new latest games. But there weren't ever sort of really major exclusives there. It was always the stuff that was revealed at E3 that then people would get a playable demo. Basically, think of E3, well, E3 would have liked to have thought of itself as the exclusive club, and then Gamescom is the sort of wider appeal, which is why it's so popular.
And also like the Video Game Awards, like, because obviously Jeff Keighley's the person who's spearheading this new thing called Opening Night Live, which the first night's going to have Hideo Kojima open it, and like,
that's incredible.
Which is a hell of a get. I mean, you know, Keighley and Kojima have kind of got this whole like bromance thing going on.
I mean, and it also does help as well that Death Stranding is again just around the corner, so he has something to promote in that
And so
sense.
that's been confirmed as one of the massive games that's going to be there. Like, there's going to be gameplay for it, whether they only show it to press or the public get to see it or whatever is up for debate kind of thing. But they've confirmed it's going to be there. Alongside stuff like Sega have said they're doing their new first AAA game or new IP in a long time. So it's like, that's a major get.
I'm so excited. Now, we had a discussion off camera about what that potential AAA game could be from Sega, because if you boil it down, they've got a lot of franchises that they've kind of just like taken off the stove a bit and they've cooled down. I know that you said that this doesn't technically count as a AAA game.
I totally get the love.
But just Jet Set Radio. Like, because of the fact that I feel like, I don't know why, but it doesn't feel like a franchise that has been given any love by them.
It's
so
weird.
It feels like it could come back.
And considering that Tony Hawk's 5 came, like Tony Hawk's had one more go around and it was terrible. Tony Hawk's 5 was very bad. And if you're going to bring back sort of extreme sports games, Jet Set's got such an identifiable like visual and iconography and everything.
So, right,
one screenshot is all you need.
This is how sad that I am. There's a song that's on my gym playlist, and when it comes on, because it has that really like funky beat to it, I like to pretend that when I'm running that I am actually in Jet Set Radio.
Just leap it onto the fence.
And I'm making the new game Jet Set Radio forever.
Good. I see with Jet Set. I remember playing the one on PS2. I didn't play it on. Was it Dreamcast initially?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm lost in my own thoughts now.
They might bring it back eventually.
Yeah.
You know, you never know.
Yeah, the first one was on the Dreamcast. If handled like dog.
A little bit.
Dog turd.
We're on YouTube. You can't poop.
Yeah,
Poop's what you want, mate. But if they can bring Grandia back.
Heckin' poop.
then if they could bring Grandia back 1 and 2, then I reckon they could bring back something like as already beloved as Jet Set Radio. So maybe. But in terms of all the different things for this, what the show's going to offer, kind of thing. They've said there'll be 1,000 people in attendance, but it will be live streamed to everybody else. So again, that seems. I mean, I know Gamescom's had streams in the past, but this feels like a notable step up.
The fact that they had it before as a kind of it was a generalized feature, but the fact that they're pushing it so hard, and the fact that they've said that I read somewhere that the amount of camera equipment and stuff that they've got to give the different angles of the show floor and stuff like that is the highest that it's been in potentially any European event.
Right. Okay.
That's you can't quote me on that one, but that's why I was like reading.
I mean, like Gamescom has had a reputation for years, but it's just that, like I said, with E3 winding down, I think that maybe they've seen ahead of time that they can have a bit of a play, because there's like you should have more massive press outlets. They should just be there, more actually just to talk about stuff.
I think the real sort of crux of this is the fact that E3 always tried to parade itself around as kind of like the elitist, first on the spot sort of thing, but Gamescom has always, I don't know, not been second best, but it's been I'd say the public's choice, because there's so many more people that like sort of flock to that around Europe. And I definitely see this as them just looking at E3 and going, well, you're kind of burgeoning out, we are also going to try and consolidate as well.
Plus, there's a whole rundown of there's a whole bunch of devs that Jeff Keighley tweeted out that are going to be there. There's a whole list of like 2K, Activision, Bandai Namco, Square Enix, Xbox are going to debut something.
That'd be interesting.
So like the THQ is going to be there, Epic's going to be there, Google Stadia apparently are going to show whatever they're doing in terms of, well, obviously they're streaming stuff, but they might have some first-party exclusives.
But the fact that they're choosing to do it at Gamescom over E3 is a really interesting point.
So there is that, and then in terms of specifics, Elden Ring's getting gameplay, but we're not going to, the public's not going to see it. It's going to be for press only, and we're not going to be there, so we're going to see it. But some people are going to see it.
That is actually really interesting how they're doing that, and I wonder if maybe E3. A lot of people have said that E3 is one of the most expensive events to attend if you are going there as a like a punter, and I can understand why, because it does carry with it a huge sort of like brand lineage. But as that's weakened and the prices are still going up for it, because I used to work in sales and marketing back in the day, and I know the cost of like a square meter for a booth. In some of the places, in the London XL, for example, it was 10 grand a square meter. 10 grand a square meter.
Can we hire one square?
Yeah, just stand there and just be like, hello,
just sell t-shirts.
Charge 100 quid for people to look at us, and we'll maybe make back the money at that point.
That's the gaming industry.
But it's strange to see that, so maybe people are going from E3 to Gamescom because it's basically either a cheaper alternative for them, or they know that the power of having the public being able to play your games rather than just having select press outlets.
Yeah, I think Gamescom's already built its reputation around public access to stuff, so they know they can get there with booth and gameplay demos, and then they know they're going to get more hands-on feel to things. Something like Elden Ring still proves that they're still doing the behind-the-scenes stuff, but that's like only one game. Everything else is going to be playable. Although I'm going to run down a few different things. Elden Ring's getting gameplay just for the press. Sega's new game. We've got Cyberpunk 2077's getting additional gameplay. Now they've said they're going to set something up for the public in terms of a public booth, but you have to watch the devs play something, and then they will also do a separate new demo for the press. So it makes me wonder if the thing they'll play through for the public is the one that they showed the press at E3.
That might be
kind of makes sense. I think at this point, because it's coming out next year, it would probably benefit to just let us get hands on with something.
Well, CD Projekt Red have been very careful with the footage that they've released. They've made sure that it's always been handled in the right way. They've had a perfect sort of like PR spin on all of the stuff they've put out. They haven't let anyone basically try and break their game so far. So maybe what they've done now is they've let the press come in, they've tweaked a few experiences based on that feedback, and now they're going to release that to the public.
Maybe. I think at this point, like I said, it's coming out next year, so I wouldn't. All the behind the scenes stuff it makes me a bit wary, because I'm just like, why don't you just show
You can't
us?
trust it. You can't trust it in the slightest.
Yeah.
Like if somebody said to me, "Oh, I've got this brand new video game coming out. It's not going to release for 2 years," and they showed me this footage, I'd be like, "That's cool. It ain't going to look anything like that by the time it comes out." Got to remember as well, a perfect case of that is Borderlands. Up until like its 80% completion, it looked like a completely different game, and then they were like, "Nah, scrap this. Let's put the cell shading all over it," and it became something else.
True, and I think that obviously was the case, and the CDPR are very aware of that with Witcher 3. It looked completely different beforehand, and they had to quote-unquote downgrade it, although it was more of an optimization. Whatever. I think like I said, they're hedging their bets in terms of when they want to show stuff. But it seems like a more confident step to be like, as literally a gameplay booth that you can all gather around and see the game running in real time. Although I think if you're going to play to Gamescom's strengths, you could go more down that route and let us get hands-on with that build. Maybe that's what they'll do, but they've said they're going to have a booth for the public, so that's one thing. Final Fantasy VII Remake's also going to be playable to the public. Also, so is the Avengers. So with assuming the new character models.
I'm looking forward to seeing what people are going to say about that Avengers, because it seemed very, very scripted.
Very controlled.
It was like what's it called? Like almost like a button prompty style thing. It felt like a QTE experience for a lot of it.
And like reading more into it, like it seems like that thing has a whole bunch of missions that you can just tackle that sort of become active on different days. So like you fire yourself into them the same way that you do in all the Ultimate Alliance games or a lot of the Marvel mobile games. So I think that demo that they keep showing off is a very controlled, like tutorial style. Look at this $60 thing you've spent. Look how awesome it is to be Iron Man.
It has to be from the beginning because it's on the bridge at the helicarrier, which gets destroyed in the opening section. So.
Totally, yeah. But I think in terms of how like controlled it is, I think they want to do the whiz bang first impression thing. But the actual main gameplay might be more freeform than that. So that's kind of a thing. And just in general, it just seems like they're making a push. They're making a play to potentially replace E3. What do you think about the idea of E3 going away, though?
Well, I don't think that E3 will ever go away. I feel that it has so much brand loyalty, even after the doxing, even after the sort of drop in quality that people have been experiencing, because of the fact that it's been so heavily pushed as the industry standard of way of thinking. But that doesn't mean that Gamescom and EGX and other
the Video Game Awards were like my favourite thing.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that they can't find their own niche and then capitalise and spread into that sort of thing. It's anyone's game. I feel like at the end of the day, we all need to remember that as much competition is going on between E3, Gamescom, Video Game Awards, it is all for the sake of gaming. Like for me, for me personally, I will always have a soft spot for Gamescom because that was the first major abroad event that I got to go to, and it was just spectacular. So.
Whereas like for me, like I do love, like the thing is like I associate E3 with like getting the leaks or the first things or whatever, and I still love that. I love the conversations that come around mass press events. I love the streaming. I love all the different hashtags. I love everyone coming together. Like I remember when like the whole idea of like whether E3 is still relevant was still a thing. I'm sure it was Phil Spencer, Xbox's Phil Spencer, that was saying that he thinks it's so valuable in the communal aspect that it brings all gamers together. It's kind of the one big Super Bowl style event that gaming has.
The thing is as well that you've got to think of like events like Gamescom and the Video Game Awards is like they capitalise on the leaks that come from E3 because the fact that now like they've been handed a perfect like meal ticket because they basically just go
here's
like
the gameplay for the thing.
Yeah, because they just go like you know that thing that you were super excited about. Well, you can play it.
You know that thing that we had a title screen for.
Yeah,
we've actually got some gameplay now.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, keep doing what they're doing, and eventually they might find the balance of power will shift. A lot of people might choose to leak their stuff or at Gamescom in the future, and that means that somebody else further down the line, or it will even go
it's
back.
It's almost like you do need that like sequential step thing. You need the holy crap, it's this thing, and then like a little bit of a let it sort of percolate for a bit, and then by the way, here's some gameplay on the back, underneath it.
It's like having Christmas Day where you get your presents, and it's like having New Year's Day a week and a bit later where you get to go out and get absolutely smashed with mates.
That's the best combo.
That's what it is. E3 and Gamescom.
That's a very nice way to put it.
And getting absolutely trashed. But yeah, there we go. Those are our thoughts on E3, Gamescom, and whether or not Gamescom is making a huge push for power in the market. Let us know what you think about it down in the comment section below. Do you think that E3 is still relevant? And if you were to pick a side, who would you choose and why? If you want to go follow us, you can do so at RetroJ with a 04 myself over on Twitter, and
I am at /LP89.
You are damn right you are. As always, I've been Jules.
And I've Scott.
You have been awesome. Never forget that, and we'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
Also, thanks Zoe for the shirt.